Oh, yes, I did.
Oh, wait. You had 4 problems.
Okay, so the first one was
2x was 1.
we have 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 over x minus 4. Okay, so on the 4 problems that you did for homework, they were all the same size squares, but we're going to review how to come up with the number of rows and columns for your square that you're using on your tabular method. All the iPads need to be away. iPads away. Okay, so you need to take notes on this, write it down. So in order to find the number of rows in your table, the number of rows come from the highest exponent on the bottom. This has an exponent of what? 1. So we're going to do 1, and that comes from that exponent.
Alright.
Yes,
Do I have Nicole Langle for dismissal?
she's not in this class.
Oh, okay.
We're always going to add 1, right? So we take the highest exponent in the denominator, that's called the degree, the highest exponent, and we add 1. So that means it's going to have 2 rows. The rows go left to right. Rows go like that. Okay? The columns go up and down. These are my columns. We're going to take the highest exponent on top, which is a 2, and we're going to subtract the bottom, so 2 minus 1. And then just like with the rows, we add 1. So 2 minus 1 plus 1 is 2. Now, all 4 problems that you did for homework are like that. They're going to be 2 by 2. So we're going to make a table with 2 rows and 2 columns. Okay. So we make our table, and now we're going to draw our diagonals in there. So the diagonals, when you draw them, we want them to go through the corners of the boxes. This is how we're going to keep track of our like terms. Okay? So there's the diagonals. Okay, now we have to fill in the square. So the x minus 4, the thing on the bottom, that's going to go on the side. You can put it on top if you want, but I'm going to do them on the side. And then the polynomial that's in the numerator, that goes on our diagonals. 2x squared minus 7x minus 4. Okay, so the polynomial up top, that's our diagonal. Everybody understand how we've labeled that? Okay, so now let's start solving it. We always work with these 2 squares first. The bottom right and the top left. The reason we always do that is that if we look at the diagonal, it only goes through 1 square. That means that whatever this number is, that goes here in that square. And the same thing up here in the top left. The diagonal only goes through 1 spot. So that means this 2x squared just came from that box right there. Okay? So now we have to figure out what's going to go up here at the top of my column. So we have to look at this. We're like, okay, how did we get negative 4? So I take this negative 4. What did I have to multiply it by to get negative 4? 1. Okay, so that means that we put a plus 1 up here because 1 times negative 4 is negative 4. So now I can go and I can fill in the rest of this column. 1 times x is x. Okay. Now let's look at the top left. What do I have to multiply this x by in order to get 2x squared? What do I have to multiply the x by in order to get 2x squared? Yeah, 2x. Okay. So now I have 2x. I'm going to bring it down here. 2x times negative 4 gives me negative 8x. Okay, we always want to finish our table because we want to be able to check to see if it worked. Right? We've got the 2x squared on this diagonal. On the middle diagonal, I have positive x minus 8x, and that adds up to minus 7x. And on the last diagonal, we have negative 4, so that works. So this equals 2x plus 1, and we're done. It's that easy. Okay?
What was the rows in the column?
To tell us how to make our table. Tell us how many rows and columns are in the table. You'll see. We'll do a couple that are not that small. Yes.
Different way, like you have to do that large thing.
Yes.
Wait, you have to do it?
You have to do it. The quiz tomorrow is on tabular division.
So we,
You
But there's
have to
different
use
ways
the
to do it.
box. You have to use that box on tomorrow's quiz. You have to use the box on tomorrow's quiz. Yes.
For the test, when we have the test, will you only have to do the tabular method on division?
No, we'll be learning a lot of different division methods. We'll be doing synthetic division, we'll be doing long division, and we'll be doing the tabular division. Okay?
Is this when it starts getting hard? Like colors?
Yes. Okay. Okay, let's look at another one. Let's do 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by 3x plus 2. Now, just a reminder, this is the same thing as saying 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by 3x plus 2. It's the same thing. Same exact thing. So I might give it to you in this form tomorrow.
how's that easy?
It's the same thing.
I'm about to say.
It's the exact same thing. It's the exact same thing. Okay, so let's make our box. This is a 2x2 box also. Okay, drawing our diagonals. Okay. Over here on the right, I've got 3x plus 2. And on the diagonals, I have 3x squared, 11x, and 6. Okay. So, what do we put in the bottom right-hand corner? 6. Okay. What did we multiply the 2 by to make it a 6? 3. So that 3 goes up here. Now that I have that 3 up there, I can finish the rest of this column. So 3 times 3x equals 9x. 9x. What's our next step? Yeah, top left. So I'm going to put the 3x squared here. So what do I multiply 3x times to make that a 3x squared? X. Double check it. X times 3x equals 3x squared. So now we can finish this column and we can do x times 2, which is 2x. So we check our diagonals. 9x plus 2x equals 11x, so that's good. So this equals x plus 3. Okay? Good?
Can I ask a question?
Huh?
Can I ask a question?
Because that's what's up top here. There's my answer up there. Okay. Okay, I'm just going to keep that same square. Okay, number 3 on your homework. All right, we're looking at 8x squared plus 10x minus 3 over 2x plus 3. Okay, so we have 2x plus 3, 8x squared plus 10x minus 3. Okay, so we're going to fill in our corners. Here we have minus 3, and then up here we have 8x squared. Okay. So what did we have to multiply the positive 3 by to make it a negative 3? Negative 1. Put a negative 1 there. So now I can fill in this corner. It's going to be negative 2x. Okay, so what goes up the top of this column?
4.
4x. So now I can fill in down here. This is going to be 4x times 3, which is 12x. And everything adds up. Negative 2 plus 12 is 10. So we have 4x minus 1 as our answer.
I'm just confused with the negative 1.
So in order to make, this had to be a negative 3, right? Because it's on that diagonal right there. How did I make this positive 3? How did this become a negative 3? I had to have multiplied it by a negative 1. Okay? Okay, let's do the last one from the homework. Oops. Okay, so we have 3x squared plus 16x plus 5 over x plus 5. X plus 5. So we have 3x squared plus 16x plus 5. Okay, RJ, what goes in the bottom right-hand corner? Plus 5, good. And if this is a plus 5, then Mary, what goes at the top of that column? What goes here? How is that helping her? How does that help her when you lean back and just tell her what number to say? Look at the innocent face. Did you lean back and go, what? Yeah. Right? That doesn't help. That's just teaching her how to say 1. You did good at that, Mary. Good job. All right, that should be a 1. Why is that a 1, Mary? Oh, you do. You know, because you were answering them earlier.
I answered it.
You were telling someone earlier how to do it. Why is that a 1? Because 1 times 5 equals 5, right? You knew that, didn't you? Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. Dominic, what can I do now with that 1? Right, I can multiply it times the x and I can get an x right there. Okay. Okay, Halston, what now?
You can put the 3x squared in the top left corner.
There you go. I can put the 3x squared there. Good. Jackson, what now? Gianna?
For the top left, you would do 3x
Why?
because 3x times x is 3x squared.
Good. Yeah, because 3x times x, right? 3x times x is 3x squared. Excellent. Okay. Riley, what now?
5 times 3x.
Yeah, do the 3x times 5, which gives me 15x. Now we're just going to check it. Check the middle diagonal. X plus 15x equals 16x, so that's good. So what does this equal? 3x plus 1. Yes.
Do you have to put like plus 5 plus 16x, or can you just write 16x or 5?
You can just write 16x and 5, yep. Questions before we do number 5? Oh. Okay, so we have 2x to the third plus 13x squared plus 21x plus 9 divided by x squared plus 5x plus 3. Okay, so this is not going to be a 2 by 2 table because I've got more terms, okay? There's more numbers to write. So we have to figure out how many rows and we have to figure out how many columns. Now the number of rows, who remembers where that comes from? The bottom, right. So the largest exponent, so I've got 2 on the bottom. And what do we always do? Add 1. So I've got 3 rows. 3 rows, okay? Now the columns, who remembers what we do with the columns?
The top exponent.
Yeah, we subtract. So this will be 3 minus 2, the top minus the bottom. And then we always add 1. So that's going to be 2. So it's got 2 columns. Okay? 3 rows, 2 columns. Okay. And we're going to draw in our diagonals. Whoops, I'm going to do that. Okay. Draw in our diagonals. Make sure you go through the corners of the cells or of the boxes so we can keep track of what goes where. Okay, so along the side, I've got x squared plus 5x plus 3. You don't have to put the pluses there. Okay, and then on the diagonals, we have 2x to the third, 13x squared, 21x, and 9. Okay. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to do the corners, the bottom right and the upper left first. Okay. So what goes in the bottom right?
9.
9, yes. So I'm going to put 9 there. Okay. Now, what did I have to multiply this 3 by to make it a 9? 3. 3 goes up there. Okay, now we can fill in the rest of this column. Anna, what goes in the rest of this column? Okay. Do you know why you're confused? Yeah, look at that. Okay. Let's see here. Who knows? Lexi, what do I put in the rest of this column here? Right, which is 3x squared. Okay, and then? Yeah, 3 times 5x gives me 15x. Okay, so we filled in that column. Okay. TJ, what now?
You gotta fill in the first box.
Fill in the first box. What's going to go in there?
9. Wait. Oh no. It's 2x to the third.
2x to the third. Good. Okay. Okay. Drew, what now?
I did 2x to the third divided by x to the second.
Which gives us?
2x.
2x, yeah. So we put 2x up there. It's 2x times x squared equals 2x to the third. Okay. All right, now we can fill the rest of this column in. 2x times 5x gives us 10x squared. 2x times 3 gives us 6x. Okay, so we need to double check everything to make sure everything works. So we have our 2x squared, that's good. Here we have 3x squared plus 10x squared, and that gives me 13x squared, so that's good. 15x plus 6x is going to give me 21x, so that's good. And then in this one, we just have the 9. So everything works. So my answer to this division problem is 2x plus 3. Okay.
Actually makes sense.
One more problem. One more problem.
Is this? I understand how to do it. I mean, it's simpler, but it just is it. Is it the most efficient way to do it?
It is for,
Some people.
yes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It also is going to help us make some connections with factors.
Isn't that another way to do this?
I thought we learned factors in algebra 1. Well, start on that one too, I guess.
Did you factor polynomials in algebra 1? Mm-hmm.
That's St. Ned's logic for you.
No, you should.
Yeah.
And they did.
Yeah.
Everyone in here did in algebra 1, I'm positive.
Yeah. That's what happened to me.
It's just a matter of whether you remember it or not.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah.
Wait, so
Okay.
so
So and that's a good question. So why do I use this method? Because a lot of teachers don't teach this method. Okay? One of the reasons that I do is that later on we're going to learn something that's going to require knowledge of this. Let me just ask you this, right? This is totally separate. If I had 12, I know 12 divided by 3, what does that equal? 4. What else can you tell me now that you know 12 divided by 3 equals 4? What else do we know about 3 and 4? Don't I now know that 3 times 4 equals 12? Right? So when we started our tabular method, we learned multiplication, right? We did 2x plus 3 times x squared plus 5x plus 3, and we got this answer, right? Now going the other direction, we did the division, and we got this answer, or quotient, right? Now, when we divide and we get an answer like this, that means that I now know that x squared plus 5x plus 3 times 2x plus 3, what does that equal? It equals 2x cubed plus 13x squared plus 21x plus 9, right? So one of the reasons that I teach the tabular method is that it is easier for some people that are more visual, but also I want you to see the connection between the multiplication of two factors, what we call them, and the product of those two factors.
So you're checking your work and doing the problem.
Yes, exactly. Okay. Okay. How many rows does this one have?
2.
2. Because there's an exponent of 1, so it's 1 plus 1, which equals 2. Okay. Let's talk about columns. How do we figure out the columns? 4 minus 1, good. But what do we always do? Plus 1. So it's 4 columns. 2 rows, 4 columns. Okay, and we draw our diagonals. Okay. All right, so let's see here. We've got x plus 2. And we've got x to the 4th. 7x to the 3rd. 10x squared. 3x. And 6. Okay. What do we do first? Put the 6 in there. Okay. And let's put our x to the 4th up here. Okay. What did I multiply the 2 by to get the 6?
3.
3. So we've got plus 3 up there. That makes this a 3x. I'm going to do that in a different color. Okay. So let's go over to the x to the 4th. What are we multiplying by? X to the 3rd. Right. Okay, and that makes this a 2x to the 3rd. Okay, so this one is bigger. So now we've got all these empty spots. So now we have to do some thinking. Okay. If I look at this 2x to the 3rd diagonal, right, it goes all the way up here. The numbers on that diagonal, what do they have to add up to? 7x to the 3rd. I have 2, so what do I still need? I need 5. So there has to be a 5x to the 3rd right here. So what did I have to multiply this x by to make it a 5x to the 3rd? 5x to the 2nd. 5x to the 2nd times times x gives me 5x to the third. Okay, now I can fill in the rest of this column. 5x squared, or 5x to the second times 2 equals 10x to the second. Okay, now let's look at that diagonal. This diagonal, what does it have to add up to? 10x to the second. It has to add up to 10x to the second. Does it? Yes. So what can I put here? 0. Because I already have my 10x to the second. So this is 0. What do I multiply x by to get 0?
0.
There you go. And then 0 times 2 is 0.
Can we turn fans?
Yes. So what does this equal? X to the third plus 5x squared plus 3. Yes.
So with this 0 in the columns, if there's like 1 0, it's like a big.
Yeah. Whole thing's going to be 0. Yep.
Wait, what you said?
If there's 1 0 in the column, the whole column's going to be 0. Okay, what does this mean, right? This is my quotient. But now I also know that x to the third plus 5x squared plus 3 times x plus 2, what does that equal? There you go. X to the fourth plus 7x to the third plus 10x squared plus 3x plus 6. Okay? Okay. Tomorrow's quiz is going to be on this, on tabular division. Okay? Tomorrow's quiz will be on tabular division. The rest of today, I'm going to teach you synthetic division.
Can we do more of this, please?
We practice it.
No, we did it Friday and we did it today.
I was here Friday.
I wasn't here
Well,
Friday.
you watched the video, I'm sure.
I did, but it didn't help.
Now, this is what the quiz is on tomorrow.
I thought,
TJ, you just sat there half asleep the whole period, so what in the world? Well, then you understand.
I do understand.
Why do you want to do more?
I'm trying to
I don't want to get something else in my house.
We're good.
Fit of them.
Okay. What period do I have you tomorrow?
You don't.
You don't have it.
Oh, we can come after school either day.
I'm busy. I got there.
Okay.
I have there.
Okay. All right. It's fine.
So,
It's fine. Okay. Synthetic division. This is another way of dividing. All right, I'm going to use one of the problems we just did. Okay, we've got 2x squared minus 7x minus 4 over x minus 4 divided by x minus 4. Okay. Now, tabular division you can use it for anything. Okay. Your boxes will change sizes, but other than that, you can use tabular division for everything. Synthetic division you cannot. It only works for certain things. Okay. Synthetic division only works when we're dividing by a binomial. What's a binomial? Two terms. A binomial is 2 terms. Okay, so when we're talking about synthetic division, it has to be 2 terms. So this x minus 4, that's a binomial. Okay. The other thing is that the number in front of the x must be a 1. So it will not work if you have 2x minus 3. It won't work if you have x squared plus 5, right? Neither one of these are going to work. It has to be just x and a number, okay? Okay, synthetic division is actually really easy. You're going to like it. Okay, so what we're going to do, whatever's in the denominator, we're going to take the opposite of that number. Now, what's the opposite of minus 4? plus 4. So we're going to put 4, we're going to put it in the corner, and we're actually going to make a little corner for it. Okay? I'm going to put the 4 in the corner. Okay. Now, we have an x squared and an x, all right? So we're going to list the numbers up here. So we've got 2x squared, so we put a 2 there. Minus 7x, so it's minus 7. And then we list the number without the x at the end. Okay. It looks complicated. It's not. After we do a couple, you'll see it's not.
Wait, so you put the X.
You just put the numbers that are in front.
Wait, hold on a minute, bro. You confused me.
So you just separate the X from the number.
Yes. Yeah. The coefficients. They're called the coefficients. We're just going to write the coefficients down.
Why would you put 2 4s though?
Because one of them comes from the numerator and one of them comes from the denominator.
All right, keep going.
Okay, everybody with me? Jaden, you with me?
Yeah.
Yes?
I got X up on the top of the number.
Just let her keep going.
I don't understand, man. I don't understand.
This is not on tomorrow's quiz, by the way. This is not on tomorrow's.
Oh, that's gonna mess me up. It's gonna-
Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to bring the 2 down. Bring that number down. Allie, let me have your phone, please. Okay, we bring the 2 down. Right now we're going to multiply. 4 times 2 is 8. We put the 8 right there. And then we're going to add. What's negative 7 plus 8? Positive 1. What's 4 times 1? 4. Put that here. What's negative 4 plus 4? 0. Okay, now, notice we started, right, with x squared. The first number was an x squared, 2x squared, right? Our answer is going to be 1 less than that. So instead of x squared, it's x. So our answer is 2x plus 1. That's the answer to this division.
Wait, so we can do that up at bar, please?
No. Okay, I'm going to do another one, and you'll catch on after we do a few of them, okay? So let's do, we've got 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by, wait a minute, x plus 3.
Wait, something's gonna be written like that too?
Yes. Okay, so what goes in the little box?
3.
Minus 3.
Minus 3. Yes, it's going to always be the opposite of this. So minus 3 goes in the corner. Now we're going to write the coefficients. 3, 11, and 6. 3, 11, 6. Okay? We're going to bring the 3 down.
I thought you had multipliers.
Okay, just watch. Bring the first number down. Now we do negative 3 times 3, which is negative 9. We write that in the next column. 11 plus negative 9 is 2. And then we multiply again. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6. We add them and we get 0.
The last one always gonna be 0, or that's just a coincidence?
It won't, but for right now it is. Okay. This is actually your remainder. We have a remainder of 0 here. Okay. Okay, so what does this equal, right? Look, we started off, this 3 went with the x squared. So your answer is always going to be 1 less than that. Instead of x squared, it's just x. 3x plus 2.
And if it's just an X, it's nothing.
Right.
So if it's X to the third, it's 2.
Yes. Okay.
I don't think you got this.
I ain't gonna lie,
The
like,
middle part
can we
is
please do
really
this tomorrow?
confusing.
Okay, let's do another one. Let's do, let me just copy this over.
No, I don't want to do this.
Now we need to do the boxes. We got a quiz.
Okay, I'm going to copy this over.
No, the boxes are.
You go over it right before we take the
Oh, wait, I can't do that one. Wait a minute.
Until she gets to the middle. And then
You know what I'm gonna do.
middle.
I'm gonna do this. Just five answer. Then I'm gonna do the box.
So you get another. Because you multiply the.
You heard me?
Yeah, I know that part.
That's
but
more
then
better,
it's
think
like-
about
and then you put the 9, and then you
Can't do that. You get this.
times what? It's negative
Wait, so
6.
I got a question.
Yeah?
So we find answer the answers,
No, no,
right?
no.
But our box is wrong. Are you gonna mark
So
it?
you.
Yeah, your quiz is on the tabular method. The quiz is not on another method. The quiz is on the tabular method.
But I'm asking, we get the answer.
That's
Don't you want us to get the answer though? So,
Yeah.
Oh.
You have to know the tabular method. So we have things to do, so let's stop talking about it. You have to know the tabular method. That's what the quiz is tomorrow. Okay, so let's do this one. What's going to go in our corner?
2.
No?
Okay, never mind.
-2. Good. -2. Okay. Now we're going to write our coefficients. So what are our coefficients going to be?
X, 7.
Next, in front of the x to the fourth is what? A 1, 7.
10, 3, and 6.
Okay. We write the coefficients.
Bring the 1 down.
Okay. Let's do this slowly, okay?
Bring the 1 down.
So bring the first number down. So I have a 1.
Negative 2 times.
Now we're going to do -2 times 1, which gives us -2. Okay? -2 times 1. Now, so basically we multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. Okay, so now we're going to add. 7 plus -2 is 5. Okay, Gianna, did that make sense? I heard you saying you didn't understand the middle.
5 times.
Right now it's 0.
Okay, so now we're going to do -2 times 5, which is -10. Okay. We're adding, we just multiplied, now we add. 10 minus 10 is 0. Now we multiply. -2 times 0 is 0. And we add, and we get 3. And we multiply, and we get -6. And then we add, and we get 0. Now let's interpret our answer. Okay. Now the first term, that 1, that came from x to the 4th, right? It was 1x to the 4th. So our answer is 1x to the 3rd, and we're just going to go down, plus 5x squared plus 0x plus 3. Now let's just clean that up. X to the 3rd plus 5x squared plus 3. That's our answer. Okay? Questions? Okay, I'm going to give you a worksheet. Don't start it yet because I'm going to do number 1 with you. Yes.
We all finish the time. Can we go over boxes at least?
I think you would get the No, because what we're doing is we're dividing by x, right? Dividing by x minus 3. So what's x to the 4th divided by x? X to the 4th over x.
Thank you.
Yes.
Are we done?
I look at the box.
That's what I'm
I don't look at the box.
Is this one on?
Yeah.
Is this one on?
Okay, so let's do this first one on the synthetic division here.
This is one we just did or one of the previous ones?
This is what we just did. Okay, so the first one, we have x squared plus x minus 19 divided by x minus 3. I want you to all pay attention. Everyone's paying attention. What goes in the corner? Positive 3. Good. Okay. What numbers do I write along the top?
1, 1.
Okay. All right, let's do this. Bring down the 1. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 plus 3 is 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Negative 19 plus 12 is negative 7. What's different about this problem?
There's no 0.
There's no 0, right. So now let me explain what's happening, okay? Let me go up to the shorter one. I'm going to set it. This 0, this last number right here is your remainder. Now let me just take a step backwards and talk to you about some regular numbers, all right? Like we did 12 divided by 3. What's 12 divided by 3? Is there a remainder? No, there's no remainder, okay? That means since there's no remainder, that the numbers 3 and 4 are factors. Factors mean what? I can multiply them together to get that answer, right? 3 times 4 equals 12. Both 3 and 4 are factors of 12. In other words, they divide evenly. Right, Mark? They divide evenly. So when we did this, right, 3x squared plus 11x plus 6 divided by x plus 3, that equals 3x plus 2. That means that this divided by this goes evenly. X plus 3 goes evenly into it. There's no remainder, which tells me that x plus 3 and 3x plus 2 are what we call factors. Okay? Now, we're going to explore this later. For right now, for your homework, when you do this, you're going to write your answer. So this 1, what type of x is that going to be? Just x. So x plus 4, and I just want you to write remainder negative 7 for now, for your homework. This is your remainder. Okay. By the way, that tells me that x minus 3 does not go into that evenly. It's kind of like if you did 12 divided by 5, we'd get 2 with a remainder of 2. That means 5 does not go into 12 evenly. It just means since I had a remainder, x minus 3 does not go into x squared plus x minus 19 evenly. There's a remainder. Okay, so just look up here a minute because I want to show you, and then I'm going to let you work on your homework the rest of the period. Okay, if I took x plus 4 times x minus 3, okay, if I did x plus 4 times x minus 3, we would get x squared plus 4x minus 3x minus 12. I want everyone looking up here. Stop working on your homework. Look up here. Okay, x plus 4, everyone looking up here. Anna, looking up here. X plus 4 times x minus 3, right? I took this answer I got times x minus 3. Does it equal x squared plus x minus 19? No. But notice this remainder. If I added the remainder, now what does it equal? X squared plus x minus 19. Well, gee whiz, look at that. That's what I had up there. So if we were to add our remainder in at the end, then it would equal that. Okay? You do not for now. For now, all you have to do is do that. Okay? Okay, you can work on your homework. What's your quiz on tomorrow? Tabular method, yes. Yes, ma'am. If you need help with the tabular method, I will be here after school. Oops. What happened here?